Does the government really have a list of American citizens that they plan to round up under martial law and imprison in FEMA concentration camps with no due process because they see us as dangers to national security? Christians, gun owners, veterans, homeschoolers, other patriots, Tea Party members. The answer is yes. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia just admitted that a roundup of American citizens violating their civil liberties may happen again in the future. But many people have forgot, or maybe just were unaware, that during the Bush administration, a list was actually discovered. It was called Maine Corps. But of course, the liberal media said that it was only the evil Republicans that would do such a thing. The liberal rag Salon.com was instrumental in exposing this after a Bush FBI insider released detailed information about a list of 8 million Americans that were seen to be a threat to national security that may be rounded up and thrown into FEMA prisons in the event of a martial law situation. The Electronic Frontier Foundation reported on this. The liberal Think Progress site reported on this, that 8 million potential suspects. Again, it's called Maine Corps. But these liberal rags are only giving you half of the story. Radar Online reported on this. You can't get a full screenshot on that. But of course, Obama would never do anything like that, right? I mean, that's only something that the evil Bush regime would do. Those evil neocon conservatives. Wrong. It's something that any political party would do, Republican or a Democrat. And the IRS, of course, was used to harass, intimidate Tea Partiers under the Obama direction. Of course, Fox News back in the day just debunked these evil FEMA camp conspiracy theories, even though on the 2004 Republican National Convention in New York City, hundreds of protesters were rounded up and taken to a secret FEMA prison that was secretly built and maintained in an old bus depot on the Hudson River, right there in New York. These are actual photos from inside this secret FEMA prison. Notice the fences and the barbed wire. Yes, every major city has one of these FEMA secret prisons. And of course, as I said earlier, in Hawaii, Justice Antonin Scalia was talking with the University of Hawaii Law School, and he said that you're fooling yourself, you're kidding yourself, if you think that internment camps will not return. Now, I don't like the fearmongers. I don't like the people that are just constantly warning about the FEMA camps, the people that see a train load of tanks, and just start warning that impending martial law. Of course, I'm very familiar with the FEMA coffin story, which has just recently started recirculating about the photos of the reported hundreds of thousands of coffins that are going to be used to murder people in the concentration camps. This story is really filled with half-truths. Maybe I'll do a different full video explaining the facts from the fiction here. But at some point in time, it may be another 20, 30 years, the Christians and anti-government dissidents like myself will be thrown in prison and exterminated because we're going to refuse to worship the Antichrist, whose most people are going to consider to be God. That is how deceived we have become as a society. Most people are so far detached from reality. I mean, if you've checked any of my debunking videos, literally half of the people thumb them down and start arguing and making death threats to me in the comments because they believe that Justin Bieber is a reptilian shapeshifter based off of some funny-looking footage from his arrest. Or these people believe that the Illuminati plans a false flag terrorist attack and encoded it into a cartoon or a card game. And then when the predicted false flag attack never happens, just year after year after year after year after year. These people just forget. They don't have the mental capacity to remember their panicking false flag fanaticism. But the FEMA Roundup list is real. It's called Main Core. But again, the liberal media that did report on this, just in small alternative outlets like Salon.com, the Electronic Freedom Frontier Foundation, Think Progress, it didn't make it into the mainstream because that would cause people to panic. But of course, it's just the evil Republicans that would do that. Obama would never do that to Christians or conservatives, Tea Partiers, veterans, gun owners. No, they would never do that. See, these blogs only give you their slanted half-truth, their partisan, prism viewing, skewed news. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, even Democracy Now, of course, headed up by Amy Goodman, reported on this. New evidence reveals top secret government database used in the spy program. Oh, but Obama's just keeping us safe. Obama's just spying on foreign citizens. They're not using the National Spying Agency to spy on Americans, even though we have clearly shown that to be another lie. But at some point in time, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. Jesus said that you shouldn't fear death. Those who try to hold on to their life will lose it, but those who are willing to let go of it will then receive life. Many people don't understand what that means, but trying to preserve what liberties we have left, because I don't really want this to happen in my lifetime, but it's going to happen at some point in time. Society is degenerating into just an idiocracy wasteland. And as America continues to decline economically, morally, as the Big Brother surveillance state continues to expand, Big Brother is almost full grown. I mean, at some point in time, the population, and it may just very well be once the Antichrist, the Illuminati Messiah, announces that he is, Satan's representative, that he has restored heaven on earth. He has restored to the pre-sinful state of the Garden of Eden. You can live forever here on planet Earth. Just take the chip. Just take the genetic mutation code. Just worship him as Satan, as the Illuminati's representative, and everything will be fine. And anybody who doesn't is going to get murdered. But you know what? I'm not really too worried about that. I mean, if you're afraid to die, you are a fearful coward, and they have won. But we must preserve what's left of the Bill of Rights to try to prevent this from happening, at least in our lifetime. And you know what? Resistance is victory. If you're just going to sit down and let these people roll over you, God hates the lukewarm people. He hates cowards. So don't be a coward.